You are Locked On Knicks POSTCAST, part of Locked On Sports New York on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
All right, two hottest teams in the NBA meeting tonight in Oklahoma City. Two incredibly long win streaks. Something had to give. And the Knicks win streak is now history. They fall to the Thunder again in OKC, 117-107. A strong second half, specifically a strong fourth quarter for OKC, proved to be too much. Knicks win streak snapped at 9. Oklahoma City has now won 14 in a row. Hottest team in the sport. Hello, everyone. I'm Jay Berman. If you're a New Yorker, you might recognize my work. If not, welcome aboard. I've spent more than 2 decades in the biz, everything from TV to web to radio. Hope you can follow me on X at Jay Berman. That's JayBerman. Welcome to the Locked On Knicks postcast, both on the Locked On Sports New York YouTube channel and the Locked On Knicks podcast feed. The postcast, as we're doing right now, gives you a chance to hang out after every single Knicks game. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team, every single day. We'll discuss everything Karl Anthony Towns, another monster night on the boards for the big guy. All 5 starters, by the way, in double digits again, something we've said quite a few times this season, but it wasn't enough. New York loses for the first time, get this, since December 11th against the Hawks at the Garden in the NBA Cup. That eliminated them from the NBA Cup. That was December 11th. It's now January 3rd, the very last time the Knicks lost a game. All that coming up on the postcast. The NFL playoffs are almost here, but it's not too late to get in on the regular season action with FanDuel, because right now, new customers can finish the season strong with $250 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. Visit FanDuel.com to get started. And before we get started, pleased to let you know your favorite podcast now has a newsletter. All right, introducing the Locked On Knicks Daily Newsletter. One stop for ultimate team and league coverage delivered right to your inbox. Sign up for free now at LockedOnDaily.com. That once again is LockedOnDaily.com. Start your day with the all-new free Locked On Knicks newsletter. All right, as we said, a loss. Haven't experienced one of those in a while. 117-107, and quite possibly the best team in the NBA, Oklahoma City Thunder. Well, they certainly showed it tonight. They're now 29-5 as they pull into a spot in the standings all by themselves. 29-5, the best record in the sport. We'll get to the standings coming up. It was a fateful fourth quarter for New York, outscored 37-19. And the obviously the NBA's leading scorer in SGA was a pain in the neck tonight. He pumped in a game-high 33, did miss 14 shots, was 12 of 26. We'll get to the numbers coming up. Lots of numbers to get to with the Knicks, specifically minutes played. And there was a lot of them. Did not see much of the bench tonight. In fact, it was basically a 5-man rotation, all 5 starters playing over 40 minutes. Precious Achiuwa, Cam Payne, and Landry Shamet all played, but minimal minutes. Nobody else off the bench tonight for the Knicks, who played just 8 players tonight. All right, let's run through the stats, as the Knicks did have a big lead in the second half. At one point in the second half, New York led by 12. But again, a huge turnaround. In fact, a 22-point turnaround from that point moving forward. And Oklahoma City wins by 10, 117-107. Gilgeous-Alexander, as we said, had 33. Jalen Williams had 20. How about the 3-pointers from Aaron Wiggins tonight? Just absolute backbreakers, killers. He had 19, including those 4 3-pointers. All right. As for the Knicks, Karl Anthony Towns, another monstrous day on the boards. 22 rebounds, a beast on the boards. It's his 4th 20-rebound game of the season and 2nd in a row. By the way, Cat named Eastern Conference Player of the Month in December, the first time he's ever won the award in his career, which is amazing. But again, he registered another double-double tonight as well, 17 points and 22 rebounds. He now has 28 double-doubles on the season. Remember, folks, he missed a couple of games. Knicks have played 35 games. He has played 33, and 28 of them have resulted in a double-double. So he's been brilliant. Meanwhile, Mikal Bridges next up. He had 24 to lead all Knicks scorers on 10 of 19 shooting. He had 4 3-pointers, but again, defense late, specifically in the fourth quarter, too much for the Knicks as Oklahoma City pulled away. As we said, the Knicks led by 12 in the second half, specifically late third. However, a big run catapulted Oklahoma City to the lead, specifically on the shoulders of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who was awesome. As we said, 33 points to lead all scorers. Knicks, just 9 3-pointers, and considering how hot they were from three up until about 2 weeks ago, they've really struggled since. Just 9 of 32. They chucked up 32 3-pointers. Mikal Bridges shot 11 of them, missed 7. So not a good night for three from Bridges, who did, as we said, score 24. Knicks were well below their field goal percentage, specifically in the second half. They shot just 47%, 43 of 90, way below their average, and they even struggled from the line. We've talked about it a lot lately, specifically the free throws struggling. They missed 5 free throws tonight. That certainly would have made a difference. 2 more misses for Jalen Brunson. And again, 12 of 17 from the line, which comes in at just 70% for perspective. The Knicks shooting over 80% as a team from the line. They continue to struggle there. As for the plus minus, there has not been very many games where most of the Knicks, specifically starters, were minus. Tonight, such is the case. In fact, just one Knick was a plus, and that was Landry Shamet, who played just 14 minutes. He was a +3. Everybody else was a minus, including OG Anunoby and Josh Hart, both -12 in the plus-minus category. As we said, Cat, another double-double, 22 rebounds, 19 for Josh Hart. Of course, he's coming off consecutive triple-doubles. Well, not tonight. 19.7 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, and a block. Turnovers were a problem for the Knicks tonight. 12 turnovers to just 22 assists. And it's something that Tom Thibodeau has talked about lately. It was a key to the game on the broadcast tonight. Stop turning the ball over. Well, in fact, the Knicks had just 3 turnovers in the first quarter, which has been a problem for them, specifically turnovers in the first quarter. Just 3 tonight, but obviously turnovers late in the second half did not help. The Knicks were outscored by Oklahoma City in the third quarter, 26-22, and then 37-19 in the final stanza. 3-pointers all over the place for OKC, specifically Aaron Wiggins and Jalen Williams. Both were amazing. Jalen Williams, Jalen, not Jalen Williams, Jaylin, obviously. Not the same player, and they discussed it on the broadcast tonight. Confusing, to say the least. Old friend Isaiah Hartenstein, just 4 points tonight, but did make a difference. Had 14 rebounds, 7 assists, and a block. Again, took just 4 shots, but in 31 minutes, he grabbed 14 rebounds and was a +11. Certainly making his presence felt again. We don't have to replay history. Knicks wanted him. He wanted to get paid. He got paid, rightfully so. Took his talents to Oklahoma City to play for the Thunder. All right. As we said, minutes, definitely an issue. All 5 Knicks starters played at least 40. Jalen Brunson played 40. By the way, Jalen, 9 of 23 from the floor tonight. Knicks struggling mightily. Mikal Bridges, as we said, 10 of 19. He played 41, continues to lead the NBA in minutes played per game at 39. He played 41. OG played 43 despite falling hard on his right elbow. He was okay. In fact, he checked for a foul, which gave him time to recover, if you will. And so he didn't miss a play. Karl Anthony Towns played 42 minutes. As we said, Jalen Brunson played 40. Josh Hart played 44 minutes. Folks, it's a 48-minute game. When you're playing 44 minutes, you're essentially playing the entire game. Remember, folks, it's an issue on back-to-backs. What do the Knicks have tonight, tomorrow? Back-to-back. We'll get to the schedule coming up. We'll do that. We'll also check the standings and get another look at the numbers when we return here on the Knicks Postcast. All right, the NFL playoffs are almost here, but it's not too late to get in on the regular season action with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, because right now, new customers can finish the season strong with $250 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. FanDuel has so many ways for you to pick up a W. I love betting on which players will score a touchdown and how many points each will score. For real, folks, it's thrilling. Not only can you bet on who will win the game, but FanDuel also has bets for which player will score a touchdown, how many points each team will score, and so much more. Just visit FanDuel.com to join today. That's FanDuel.com for your chance at $250 in bonus bets. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. All right, we are back on the Knicks Postcast as the Knicks and Thunder met in quite possibly the most impressive regular season game so far. Two hottest teams in the sport, 2 or 3 of the best teams in the sport. And now, to go along with the hottest team moniker, the Thunder have the best record. They are 29-5. In fact, right there with the Cavaliers. Cavaliers are 29-4 entering play tonight. And they're going to win. They're going to beat Dallas tonight. So that'll be win number 30 for Cleveland. Anyways, point being, Cavs have 30. Oklahoma City now has 29. They're 29-5. Celtics won tonight. They're 26-9, so they leap a game further away from the Knicks. Celtics will remain 4.5 behind the Cavs. Knicks are now 24-11. 2 back of the Celtics, 6.5 back of the Cavs in the Eastern Conference. And we talked about back-to-back. That'll take place tomorrow in Chicago as the Knicks head north from Oklahoma City to face the Bulls. Now, obviously, the task not as difficult. The Bulls are 15-19, currently in 10th place in the Eastern Conference. But again, it's a back-to-back, and all 5 Knicks starters played over 40 minutes, including 44 from Josh Hart. So, needless to say, sleep well on that plane, boys. You're going to need the help. Again, just 8 Knicks played tonight. Just 8 minutes apiece for Precious Achiuwa and Campaign. And considering no Deuce once again tonight out with the hamstring, you figured that Campaign would get additional minutes. But he didn't, because Jalen Brunson played 40. Landry Shamet did not put up any significant numbers, but was a spark defensively. A steal and a block for Shamet, who played 14 minutes. All right, so the Knicks are 24-11. They are 13-7 away from home. By the way, this was just the 4th time in NBA history that 2 teams, each on a 9+ game win streak, met. It last occurred all the way back in 2000, nearly 25 years ago. Lakers Blazers. Again, Knicks were riding a 9-game win streak. Oklahoma City, a 13-game win streak. And now it's up to 14 for OKC. So, again, just the 4th time in NBA history that has happened. Just some Knick numbers overall. Obviously, things have changed now. The win streak overall is gone at 9. The win streak on the road is gone at 8. The Knicks are down to 14-3 over their last 17. 19-5 over their last 24. Now, remember, it's not December anymore. They had a 12-2 month of December. It was their best 34 game start to a season since 2012. That will hold true through tonight. The best 35 game start to a season since 2012. We've told you this really nightly for the last week or so. They won 54 games that year. We'll see how close they get to 54 this year. By the way, the Knicks, believe it or not, under Coach Tibbs, had won 9 games in a row 4 separate times, including one just this last season. However, they had never won 10-plus games under Tibbs. That will not happen. The last Knick 10-plus game win streak all the way back in 2013 when they won 13 games in a row. And by the way, folks, it bears repeating. We discussed it last night. Needs to be said again. From here on out, the Knicks have the toughest remaining schedule in the NBA. And just to give you an idea, or at least some perspective on how impressive this streak is for Oklahoma City, it's their longest win streak in OKC. Not the franchise's longest win streak. That came in Seattle. But again, the longest win streak since they moved to Oklahoma City. And that is now 7 straight home wins for OKC. They're 29-5, 16-2 at home. And if you watched tonight and you listened, you could tell how loud it was. Difficult place to play. And it looks as though much of the Western Conference playoffs will run through OKC, albeit it's early. We're just in the beginning of the new year. But again, at 29-5, without possibly one of their best players, and Chet Holmgren, well, when he comes back, they'll be even better. All right, numbers-wise, 24 for Bridges tonight, 20 for OG, 17 for Karl Anthony Towns. However, he did grab 22 rebounds, and for a second consecutive game, he grabbed at least 20 rebounds. Also, for the 4th time this year, it's a 20-rebound game. We told you, and it bears repeating, Eastern Conference Player of the Month in December, the first time in his career he has won a Conference Player of the Month. 28 double-doubles now for Cat as that number continues to rise. Josh Hart was 8 of 15, continues to be super efficient from the floor, but was just 2 of 7 from 3. Did, again, have 7 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, and a block, so he continues to contribute. Again, Jalen Brunson, 9 of 23 from the floor. However, the combination of OG and Karl Anthony Towns, they were both, believe it or not, 7 of 13 from the floor. So again, the struggles really reared their ugly heads in the 4th quarter, where OKC outscored the Knicks 37-19 and turned a 12-point deficit into a 10-point lead and the win. And again, they've now won 14 in a row. The Knicks did have an 18-6 late second quarter run to take a 12-point lead at the break. You figured things were looking pretty good. They silenced the crowd, had a double-digit lead. OKC did not make a 3 in the second quarter. That's where the Knicks were their most effective, outscoring OKC 36-21 in the second quarter. But literally the 2 best teams point differential wise in the third quarter, OKC 1, Knicks 2. Well, that proved to be worthy of mention because OKC outscored the Knicks 26-22 in the third and then 37-19 in the fourth. All right, we'll take one final break here on the postcast. When we come back, we got to check the standings again and the schedule as the Knicks have no rest for the weary, right back at it tomorrow night. All right, I love going to live events, whether it's sports, music, theater, or comedy. One of my favorite memories was attending a concert last year, December. Still counts as last year. Anyways, the energy and excitement, unforgettable. Now, Game Time has made it even easier to get tickets for your favorite events with their new feature, Game Time Picks. This feature filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. Recently, I was looking for tickets to an upcoming Knicks game using the Game Time app. With Game Time Picks, I found amazing deals and could even see the view from my seat before buying. The super deal was particularly impressive, offering great seats and unbeatable prices. Plus, the app's all-in pricing shows the total cost up front with no surprise fees at checkout. All right, take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code LOCKEDONNBA, that's LOCKEDON for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code LOCKEDONNBA, that's LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? It is game time. All right, we're back after a 117-107 loss for the Knicks. As we said, they had not fallen to their opponent since December 11th, folks. And to be fair, it wasn't even a regular season game. It was the NBA Cup. December 11th against Trae Young and the Hawks in the Garden in the quarterfinals of the NBA Cup. And they lost. And that was the last time the Knicks lost again. Their 9-game win streak is history after a 117-107 loss to OKC. The Knicks were led by Mikal Bridges, who had 24 points, but failed to make it to the free throw line for whatever it's worth. Again, Bridges, a jump shooter. So he's not going to get to the foul line much, but again, he didn't get to the foul line at all tonight. And we talked about those free throw struggles. Knicks missed 5 more free throws, and they were just 9 of 32 from three-point land. And when the Knicks are missing, 23 threes, things are going to be rough. You're missing 20-plus threes, things are going to be rough. And again, the Knicks were 9 of 32 for 28% from three, well below their season's average. By the way, Karl Anthony Towns did not shoot a three tonight. Tom Thibodeau, if you recall, called 2 timeouts within the first 3 minutes and 9 seconds of the fourth quarter. Tells you all you need to know about exactly what was happening in the fourth quarter. Knicks were stunned. And again, it cost Tibbs 2 timeouts in 3 minutes just to settle things down. They started the third quarter on an 8-0 run. Knicks finally got back into things. And then obviously the big run to start the fourth quarter. And then they never looked back, outscoring the Knicks 37-19 in the final stanza. So the streak is snapped. The Knicks struggled in the second half. Cat put up his typical cat-like numbers. Now we have to discuss back-to-back because that's coming up and it's not going to be easy. Obviously, we're hoping the Knicks get out of OKC quickly because they got to go to Chicago and play the Bulls tomorrow night. 8 p.m. tip time. We'll be with you after the game right here on the Knicks postcast as the Knicks will battle the Bulls. So 2 quickies away, Oklahoma City and Chicago, Friday and Saturday night. We're back home on Monday for the first of a 5-game homestand. Can't get enough of that. Yes, the schedule stiffens opponent-wise, but much of January will be spent in New York at Madison Square Garden. So Monday at home against Orlando, Wednesday against Toronto, and then Friday in a week back again against Oklahoma City, this time at the Garden. That again is Friday. So in exactly a week, they'll play Oklahoma City for a second time, perhaps some revenge. And, of course, we'll get them on MSG's home floor. Then the following Sunday, home for Milwaukee. And then a week from this coming Monday, the 13th, will be against the Pistons before they head back out on the road. So, again, a huge 5-game homestand. Orlando, Toronto, OKC, Milwaukee, and Detroit. Before that, Chicago tomorrow night, back end of the back-to-back. And, again, that starts at 8 Eastern time. So the Knicks get 24 from Mikal Bridges, 20 from OG Anunoby, 22 from Jalen Brunson. They really spread the wealth tonight, and it wasn't enough. They fall to Oklahoma City 117-107. All right, before we get out of here, some good news. Your favorite podcast now has a newsletter. Introducing the Locked On Knicks Daily Newsletter, one stop for ultimate team and league coverage delivered right to your inbox. Sign up for free now at LockedOnDaily.com. That's LockedOnDaily.com. Start your day with the all-new free Locked On Knicks newsletter. Also want to mention our partners in crime over at Locked On Knicks, the All-Stars, Gavin Shaw and Alex Wolf. They handle all the stuff there. Again, Locked On Knicks, they're the best. So follow, subscribe, and enjoy. For the fourth time in NBA history, two teams met entering with at least 9-game win streaks in tow. Well, it didn't go well for the Knicks. Make it 14 straight wins for Oklahoma City. The Knicks finally lose for the first time in nearly a month, December 11th against the Hawks. That's the last time the Knicks lose. No rest for the weary, as we said. Back at it tomorrow night against the Bulls in Chicago. 8 o'clock tip time. We'll be with you shortly after the game. Again, this is the Knicks postcast. Knicks lose to the Thunder tonight. They'll try and get back on that horse tomorrow night. Again, my name is Jay Berman. Remember to follow me on X at Jay Berman, Jayberman. And again, Knicks lose to the Thunder 117-107. Back at it tomorrow night against the Bulls in Chicago.